I built this timer to help me get work done, which, of course, took weeks in itself, possibly defeating the point. But now that it's finally complete, I want to see if it actually helps. Usually there's no lack of stuff to work on. I normally have a list of what I need to get done for my current projects with clearly defined steps. The difficult part is getting those tasks done in a quick and efficient manner, spending enough time to get them done while not neglecting other projects at the same time. There are many ways to solve this problem, most of which don't require custom hardware, but they all have their problems. Phones have timers, but also countless other apps trying to distract you. Computers have built-in timers, alongside everything else that needs to get done, kind of hiding the timer. And while creating custom hardware is a problem according to most people, it seemed like the easiest for me to fix. Even if it was just procrastination with extra steps. What I wanted was a device with a single purpose, something that was fast, easy to use, and visible while I worked, with no apps, notifications, or ability to create distractions. So I designed a dedicated work timer to see if removing all possible distractions will actually make it easier to get work done. I even went as far as removing the digits in favor of a simple bar. Before I continue, the concept for this device was inspired by the open source focus timer made by the channel Stuck at Prototype. Rather than just making that project, I decided to put my own spin on it with a unique case and some custom electronics. But overall, building the timer was only half the project. The real question is if it will actually help me get work done. So I've been using various versions of this board throughout the last week and making notes on what worked, what didn't, and what set the timer apart from other options available. But before I got to that, I had to decide exactly what it was supposed to do. The timer itself didn't need to be complicated. In fact, simple was better. Starting a session needed to be as simple as a single button press, while still providing various length sessions for different tasks, and it had to do that while remaining visible on the desk but not distracting. And with that, I started to turn the idea into hardware. Luckily for something like this, the electronics can be quite simple. I just combined one of the newer AT-Tiny microcontrollers I had left over from a previous project with some addressable LEDs, a few buttons, and a USB port to power it, all on a custom PCB I designed for this project. Speaking of the boards, I would like to thank PCBWay for providing the PCBs for this project. PCBWay offers many different manufacturing services, including, but not limited to, PCB manufacturing from 1 to 60 layers, both plastic and metal 3D printing, CNC machining, and sheet metal fabrication. Feel free to follow the link in the description to check out what I mentioned and anything else they might offer to see if it'll be useful for your next project. Now that the boards are ready, I apply the solder paste through a stencil. I know a lot of you skip the stencil when ordering, which I used to too, but it just makes it so much easier to make the boards, so in my opinion it's well worth the price after having done it for my last few projects. Once the paste was applied, I went through and placed each component one by one. Luckily, this board wasn't too bad. It only had 16 different components with a total of 59 parts. Then the board was reflowed using a hot plate, soldering the whole board at once. After the board was done, I inspected the joints for bridges, paste that didn't melt, or any other assembly issues, which I didn't find this time, but you can never be too sure. And as a final step, before applying power, I measured the resistance of the main and only power rail, which due to the capacitance of the rail started low but quickly rose to a normal value. So I applied power and nothing exploded, so it was safe to move on to the code. Since this board essentially functions as an LED strip with buttons, I decided to test it using the LED strip sample code. So I loaded up the Arduino IDE, selected my board, which in this case is the AT-Tiny 3227, provided by megaTinyCore, which I've linked in the description if you want to use it yourself, and click the NeoPixel example and hit upload. The board immediately lit up and started flashing various colors, so I then went on to make the actual code for my project. And honestly, the code wasn't too complex. It just watched for button inputs and started a timer depending on which one was pressed, with the first one being 15 minutes, then 30, 45, 1 hour, and an hour and a half. So now I have a working board, but no case, meaning that's my next problem. The enclosure needed to be simple, but still ensure the board was secure. The design I settled on used 3 parts: the lower case, the light diffuser, and the upper case. While the fit wasn't perfect on my first try, the final version worked exactly as I intended. The lower case uses printed pins to hold the board in place during assembly, and the diffuser gets fastened to the upper case using 2 M2 screws. From there, the 2 halves come together to make the final device. There are also magnets on the bottom to allow me to quickly swap the timer between my monitor riser mount and the desk stand that I designed for it. I guess that means the device is done. That only leaves the question from the beginning. Does it work? I would say yes, but it's definitely not perfect. I've been using it throughout the last week while editing this video, as well as some of the other projects I'm currently working on. And I liked how simple it was to start the timer with a single button press, as well as how simple the interface was to avoid distractions. Pair that with the fact that it was always ready to go, and it definitely helped me get some work done. But as you've probably noticed, the diffuser is too thin, as each light is clearly visible. And I also ran out of time to create a system to allow me to change the break time. Right now it's just a fixed 5 minutes. And while it was never part of the original plan, it would be nice if this was able to run off a battery instead of requiring a USB connection. Overall, building a custom timer was probably not the fastest way to increase productivity, but after using it for a short while, it does seem useful, and at least for now, it's earned a spot on my desk. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to start editing this video.